burns from freezing if it comes in direct contact with your skin for a prolonged period of time. So safety-wise, we will be using these gloves to protect our hands, and we will be wearing lab coats. So how they make liquid nitrogen is that nitrogen is the main gas that is in the air that we breathe. It's like 72% of the gas. So they take that gas and they separate it from the other gases that are in the atmosphere, and they put it into tanks that will compress it, like super compress it, and they also cool it down a lot to 77 Kelvin, which is like negative 321 degrees Fahrenheit for us. So it's very cold. As I said, that's why it can cause burns. And to keep it in this state of liquid rather than the gas that it naturally occurs as, they have to keep it in either pressurized tanks or a storage container like this. May I open it up? Okay, so what can you actually do with liquid nitrogen? It's used for several industrial purposes. With medicine, they use it to remove warts because it does freeze the skin, so it kills off the wart. It's also used for food preservation, for storing tissues and cell samples for medicine, for cooling superconductors, and you can make, unfortunately we couldn't do it, but you can make ice cream out of it, and they also make some like cocktail drinks out of it, and it makes it look like they're smoking, which you'll notice with this when we open it up. Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, we'll just go. So anyhow, what we're going to be doing with the liquid nitrogen is we're going to submerge 4 different objects in it and see exactly what happens when they get put in the super cold environment. So we're going to start with a banana.
So we have a banana. Bananas are approximately 74% water, and when bananas are frozen rapidly and at a temperature of 136 Kelvin, it basically forms a glass. Glasses are kind of like intermediate crystals. The molecules in the water aren't as rigid and structured as crystals, so glass is a lot more brittle and flexible. And you will see what happens with
So as you can see, it kind of bubbles up. That's why they like to put this. It can be used for like magic shows with like making fog-like things, or with the drinks that I was talking about, where they'll like use this in like fancy restaurants for a drink. So the second item that we're going to put in is a racquetball. It's just an average racquetball, bounces. It's an elastomer, so it's elastic polymer. So that's why it has these properties that we're all familiar with, that it will change its shape and kind of go back to its shape without any issue. So we're going to submerge this in the liquid nitrogen as well and see what happens with that.
Okay. Our next object is a balloon, and it's just filled with room temperature air. And when I put it in the liquid nitrogen, it's going to decrease the temperature, thereby decreasing its kinetic energy, making the molecules move slower, and that will increase its pressure, which you won't see, but it will shrink the balloon.
Okay, so we'll let that cook.
And then we have the flour, which is made up of mostly water, and it works the same as a racquetball and banana, where it lowers the temperature past this last transitional temperature, and the water molecules rapidly freeze.
So now we're going to see if we can fish some of our other objects out of here. Guess that's not going back, but that's
So I'm gonna remove the balloon, and since it's compressed, the volume of the oxygen didn't change. And it's warming up, so it expands back to its original state.
So when it comes to contact with yeah, so
We already had a balloon in.
okay, so we also had a racquetball that went in, and it also, like the banana and like the flowers, has become super cold, and so the kinetic energy has decreased in it, and it has become very hard and, as we'll see, very brittle. So it should no longer bounce. What is this? Harder? Okay.
This forest will spring.
That happens.
So it's returning back to its original form.
So like everything else, when it's rewarmed, it'll go back to its regular state. And
Yeah, it's the last properties back.
yeah, so we'll keep playing with this, but we can go ahead and fish out our bananas and see what it does. Oh, we can still use it though.
That's the fresh banana today. That's Walmart's best.